let's listen in to the management of Diageo. We have Hina Nagarajan, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Diageo, speaking with Ajay Sharma of ET Now about the company's plans and the outlook going forward. Listen in.
Today we have announced our new mission and refresh strategy. And really, since acquisition, we've been on a journey of transformation. And, we were looking at profitable growth, transformed reputation, big shifts in talent culture. But we do recognize that period has been one of moderate top-line growth. But it's created a strong platform for us to launch our new mission. And our new mission is really to be a top-performing consumer products company in India, delivering sustained double-digit growth, profitable top-line growth, and long-term value to all our stakeholders. And I would say that we will deliver our mission through three pillars that form the essence of our strategy. One is to reshape our portfolio while delivering our guidance of mid to high teens margin, creating an organization of the future, and defining and executing an ambitious role for Diageo in society. So really on our portfolio reshape, I would say we are looking to accelerate growth in the top end, luxury and premium, and offer really strong, highly differentiated offerings to consumers in upper prestige, which sits just below the scotches, so to speak, and reshaping our offerings in the lower and middle end to really premiumize number one, which is a fantastic brand we have, and make Johnnie Walker iconic in India.
Well, Johnnie Walker is already iconic in India, but I'm sure your renewed focus will take it to a larger number of consumers and get more volumes for you. I really enjoyed your conference call today, especially the mention of the way HNI and Ultra HNI rising numbers of this community is also bringing volume, especially in the premium part of your product profile. Talk to us about how are you mapping the demand outlook from here on? Because when you've arrived upon this strategy, you must have done your numbers, internal numbers, and also the lever of growth which you can press or is available for you to take your margins in the range which you're talking about.
So I would say, Ajay, the market, if you look at the demographics of the country, right, there is going to be a massive explosion in the upper mid and, high income households, right? We estimate 30% of total households, right, sitting in that, income segment 3 years from now. We are talking of 100 million households sitting at the upper mid and high end of income. And our luxury premium portfolio, which is largely the scotches bottled in India and, bottled in origin, right? So brands like Black Dog, Black and White whiskey, Johnnie Walker, are some of our reserve, Johnnie Walker Blue Gold. Right? This is a perfect sort of macroeconomic development for breakout growth on our top end of the portfolio, right? But there is a lot of growth to be had in what we call the premiumization trend as well. So, people, as we see more affluence in the country, we actually see, growth at what we call the lower prestige, where number one whiskey sits, where people coming from, lesser brands compared to number one and upgrading to number one. And then, people upgrading from number one to Royal Challenge whiskey and to signature whiskey. So we see this full ladder of premiumization. And we have actually structured our commercial organization to meet, the three Indias. So we actually have an organization that caters to the luxury and the affluent India, and to, aspiring India and to the middle India, right? So for us, we've mapped that our portfolio actually caters to the growth requirements, to the consumer needs across these portfolio areas. And we see the lever being accelerating penetration, bringing a wider range of brands from our global portfolio, activating that, and also transformative innovation, right? So we've just renovated our brand called Signature, and it's got a new liquid, a much more sustainable, package. So, 40% of the glass we use on the brand actually is recyclable. And, we source the material for cartons, nature ethical sourcing we do. And we've removed plastic from the caps, equivalent to 130 metric tons. And this really plays to the chords of the new young Indian who wants more authenticity, more natural, signatures made from 100% natural ingredients, right? So I would say transformative innovation. And we are also taking, Ajay, a future back growth view, right? So we are looking at future opportunities, future trends where consumers are heading, and we're going to look at new growth engines from there.
Right. I really love the categorization of the country demand profile which you've done, and aiming at catering to the demand of all kinds of citizens falling in each of those categories. But the new India you spoke about is very demanding, looking for newer tastes and newer products. And I'm told that you are also, as a part of the strategy, planning to launch some of your very popular overseas brands like Guinness here in the Indian market. Talk to us about some of your new product offering which you are planning here.
So you're absolutely right, Ajay. This new consumer is, demanding more experimentation, discovery, new tastes, right? So we've just launched a brand called Royal Challenge American Pride, which is our first bourbon-based IMFL brand from, the USL portfolio. And this is a whiskey that is, a very easy drinking whiskey based on bourbon, scotch, and Indian malts and grains. And it is really for the consumer who is looking for, discovering a refreshing experience. And you can have this, on any occasion through the day, right? So it's a really easy drinking liquid. And, we made a foray into craft. Craft has become very big, as you know, right? So we launched Epitome Reserve, which is our first craft whiskey. And we are also seeing a lot of traction on gin. So we have activated Tanqueray and Gordon's from our global portfolio. And now we are seeding Guinness, which is our, loved premium brand of beer from the global portfolio.
Right. And before we let you go, just a quick word on the sustainable initiative which you are taking. Of course, sourcing and the overall materials which you're using in your products, as well as packaging, going more towards the natural tilt. That is something very interesting. Leave us with some more thoughts on that, Hina.
So, Ajay, we've been on a big journey of sustainability, and, we are focusing on 3-4 big areas, right? So water, water is a very critical resource for us, and we use a lot of water in our operations. We are talking of, heading to low carbon operations, and also, being sustainable by design. So we've already reduced 55% of water in our operations, and by 2030, we are doing 40% further reduction, and we will actually replenish more water than we use by 2026. And then on our operations carbon emissions, we are looking to become net zero by 2025. And on the plastic side, we are going to be plastic waste positive by the end of this year, which means that we will be collecting more plastic than we put out in the community. So we are very driven by our sustainability initiatives, have been investing in that, and we have very bold targets for that.